Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Jason, and this is the Forex Market Preview. Thank you all for joining me today, and we're going to dive right in. Now, it's been a couple of weeks, if you guys remember, since I've had the Forex Market Preview. I was actually gone last week and shared with you guys about the radio show that I was going to be kicking off, and for those of you who joined me for that, thank you very much. But I want to dive right back in and talk to you about a couple of trades that we talked about the last time we were in the Forex Market Preview, and kind of give you the lowdown on that. And then I'm going to show you a couple other things that I'm looking at, but this is kind of a slower week, and this is the time of year when we start to see this type of stuff happen. Because we've got a situation now where we're getting into the holidays. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Then we've got Christmas and New Year's right behind that. And if you guys didn't watch my post, you can cycle back through and take a look at the post that I wrote about trading around the holidays. Kind of give you some ideas about what I do around the holidays to trade and what I would suggest you guys think about when you're deciding what to trade. But if you remember last time we spoke, let's zoom in here on the chart. Last time we spoke, we were looking at Pound Canada on the daily chart. Now, this was a higher time frame chart, but I showed a couple of different patterns that were setting up here. You had the Gartley pattern, and you also had a cipher pattern that were completing right around where this blue box is. And at the time, we were back, down here somewhere, and I said, hey, watch out for this move. If we come up into this area, it's going to be a nice area to sell. And as you can see, we did a pretty good job of calling this thing. As we came right up into this blue area here, you'll see market did try and spike through. Couldn't do it, was beaten all the way back, and then rolled all the way over. Target 1 was hit, and now the market has cycled back up, and we're looking for some trend continuation, possibly down into either this 618 around 157.40s or previous structure support around 156.49. But those of you who took advantage of this, you're booking a very nice profit, because this being on a daily chart, is a lot. There's a lot more pips in there. Some of you dial back your position size, of course, trading on the higher time frame because of the added risk involved with the stop loss being wider. But either way, you had a very nice trade here. Euro pound also triggering. This was also one that we talked about last time. This is, up about 140 bucks. There's about 14 pips there is all that is. So coming right down into this cipher pattern completion here. Now, we're looking for a press up into 80.50s with this for target 1. So for any of you, and actually that's going to change just a hair now because we've actually potentially found a bottom here. So we're looking for 80.39 for initial targets on target 1. So pound, this one's going well as well. We've come right into the zone, potentially, looking for some pullback here into 80.40s, and pound Canada looking like a good trade as well. Now, did not have that success with Euro Aussie. Those of you who know Euro Aussie, I'm going to drop to a 4-hour chart because that's what this was traded on, and show you guys the two pattern formations that were in here. If I can get, hang on. Let me get this again. Sorry. Let's see. Euro Aussie. Well, let's try that. There we go. And we're going to go to a 4-hour chart. There we go. We had a Gartley pattern right here, coming into 124.17s. We also had a crab pattern terminating in here around 123.65. And so I told you guys about both of them and said, hey, you could go ahead, you can buy the Gartley pattern, you can buy the crab pattern. Either way, stops need to go below X here. And the market just ran right through that, stopped you out no matter what trade you would have been involved with here. This actually was a pretty nice setup because you had a couple of patterns completing right about the same area. And the market just completely ignored it. Now, this happens. So from a psychological standpoint, what you have to do is kind of take your licks with everybody else. Every trade is not going to be a winning trade. And one of the issues that a lot of traders deal with is when they come into the market, they start looking at, they looked at the pound Canada chart. Okay, so they took a look at this one and they decided, I don't really want to risk that much. There's a little bit too much there, so I didn't take that trade. Then they looked at the Euro pound trade on the 4-hour chart, and they looked at that one, and they said, there's just it looks like the stops are pretty wide on that. I don't really know this cipher pattern thing, so I'm not real sure about trading that one. Then they take a look at Euro Aussie. and they say, well, that's got a couple of patterns setting up, and I kind of know the Gartley and the crab pattern, and so yeah, I'll go ahead and trade that one. And so they take winner, they miss the winner, they miss the second winner, and they take the third one, and the third one's a loser. And then they're frustrated and they're confused, and they're kicking their dog or whatever it is that they do. And what I want to caution you against is be focused on the process, not the outcome. Okay, the outcome on the individual trade is not nearly as important as following the process. If your process is good, you're going to make money over time. Now, you may have times where you have days or weeks or months, depending on the time frame that you're trading on, when you're going through drawdown, where the market continues to trade sideways to slightly down, and you're continuing to take the trades and nothing seems to be working out. And then all of a sudden, you'll have winner, 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 winner. And it'll all be strung together. And you'll feel like you're on top of the world, and everything you touch will seem to turn to gold. And you will go through this process as a trader again and again and again. What the unsuccessful trader does is he likes the one when he's hitting all the winners, but when we start to run into the drawdown, when the market when he starts to give back a little bit of the profit that he's made, when he starts to have to pay the bill, pay the overhead, well, now he starts to feel a little bit of the pain. He decides, well, I don't want to do that anymore, so he changes strategies, he modifies his rules, because he's focused on the outcome, not the process. So, when this type of thing happens, there is an option. There is a trade in this pattern setup here. What we want to watch for now, since structure has been violated, is I'm going to go ahead and bring my structure line down here, and I'm going to look left, and I'm going to see resistance, 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 support, support, and I'm going to wait to see if this market will rally back up into previous structure support at 2350s. If I can get back up into 2350s, I have some options. I can either initially short at 2350s, stops above the previous cycle top, which would be right here. You had the cycle top, and then you had the leg down, and then you have the retracement. Let me fatten this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay? So there are a couple of options here that one has. You can either sell them right there when it hits 123.50 and put your stops above the previous cycle top, or you can wait for a reversal candle, for a 3-bar reversal, for a break below, close below. There are a lot of different things that I talk about with you. Those of you who are members of the syndicate have discussed a lot of those. We're going to look at a 2618 trade. Those of you who are in the syndicate this week got to learn that strategy, the 2618. And if you're not a member of the syndicate, if you don't mind a little plug here, if this is the first time you're watching this, or for some reason you've been watching this video for months or years and you have never joined the syndicate, shame on you. It is absolutely the cheapest and most effective way for you to start learning some of these techniques. We know that markets move because of the human beings involved. And you can spend your time, a whole lot of time, studying economics, studying fundamental principles, studying all of that stuff, and trying to figure out what payroll is going to be this month, or what CPI numbers are going to be, and how the market intends to react to that, or you can simply learn to read a chart. What we do here is we study the technicals and study the analysis of why markets move based on the charts, and we know structure, support, and resistance is a critical piece of that. So if we get the market to come back up into previous structure support, which now should become resistance, there are a variety of ways that you can enter the market with anticipation that the market will move lower. So that's what I'm going to be watching for here. I cannot tell you how many times I have made up for a loss on a pattern formation by selling into trend continuation, because what we're really looking at is, when you're looking at pattern formations, you're expecting consolidation. The pattern formations will not work well in trend continuation at all, because in trend continuation you get something like this, where the market comes down. It should reverse in here if we're going to stay in the consolidation that we've already had, but we didn't do that. We broke out into a directional move. And that, of course, is going to stop you out on your advanced pattern. Well, the answer is not to go into a corner and lick your wounds for 2 days until you feel better about yourself. The point is, let's get back on. The market has now told us something. It's told us it no longer wants to be in a consolidative state. It wants to move into trend continuation. Well, now we're looking at potentially some cycling that may happen. some of that Elliott wave stuff that some of you are learning right now, where the market does some of this number and continues lower and lower as we ebb and flow. What we want to be looking for are those key areas where that market is likely to find that reversal, that continuation of the trend, and be in a position to take advantage of that. So that's what I'm going to be watching, just so you guys know. Now I'm going to bounce around here just a hair so I can give you guys a couple of things. This is, whoops, excuse me. Let me shut that off. Boom, there we go. This is pound yen, 26.18 trade. Those of you who have learned that. Double top, there's the bottom. Structure gets broken to the downside. What are we looking for? We're looking for a 618 retracement. Back up into the 618 for trend continuation, possibly back down in here to previous structure support. Whoops. 1 second. Come on. Having trouble with my deal here today. Around 2480s. Okay? If I consolidate up the chart, you're going to see support, support. Got a little resistance zone in here. You got more support back here. So, opportunity to sell the 618, looking for trend continuation down into 2480s. So a nice trade there. Again, that's the 2618. For those of you who are in the syndicate who got that last week, you can review that at your leisure. Let's see what else we got. Aussie. Trying to remember. Here's Aussie dollar is another setup for this week. You have two different options here. You're looking at two different patterns. The first pattern is a bat pattern that will complete somewhere up here around 105.71 if it completes. So again, you're looking for a sell. To make this real easy, you're looking for a sell up here around 105.70, or you're looking for a potential buy down here around 102.87 on a cipher pattern buy. So a couple of options here to either sell if the market continues higher or to buy if the market comes lower. A couple of trades. Now again, that's Aussie dollar. We're going to bounce over to pound dollar now. I didn't see anything here, and I'm just going to cycle through these to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's go to euro. We'll take a look at the euro. The euro's in a weird spot right now. I'm going to bounce out to a daily chart, and I may not take time because I took that little time to talk to you guys about psychology. But we've got a couple of things setting up here. Number one, you've got what's considered a W top, but this can be read as a double top here. So you've got this W top is basically, let me just draw it in for you. It looks like a W, okay, for lack of a better way of explaining it. It's a W top. Now this can be considered an advanced pattern formation, but not the way I trade it. So I'm not going to get into that. But this is considered, for all intensive purposes, a W top. You also have a double top here, with the market coming in and slamming up, boom, right there, coming in initial top, and then the retest here. Market has broken structure. This gives us a potential 2618 trade on the daily chart. Again, drawing this in, you're looking for the 618 back up into 129.68 for a potential sell on the daily. Now, what I was looking at was, where's this market likely to terminate? Where's the next move? Is it the buying opportunity in this trade? There is a huge Fibonacci cluster right here, and we're sitting on top of it. We got a 127 extension, a 1618, and a 382 retracement all right here. But the market is continuing to show downward pressure. We have at 2651, if I consolidate up my chart here, at 2651 we actually have some nice support. As you'll see, you've got support here and support here. And if I move over, that comes in right at a 1618 and that structure support level. So this is the way I'm going to play this, just so you guys know. I will be playing this on a 4-hour chart, as I always do. I will not be looking to just buy this up right here, because the market is continuing to make lower lows. What I am going to look for is I'm going to look for the market to press down into this structure support level at around 126.51 and then wait for a reversal signal. There's no advanced pattern here. This is just strictly structure. The other option that I have and that I'll be waiting for is you can see how the market just continues. Let me just go ahead and show you guys this. For those of you who are new to technical analysis, resistance, boom, boom, boom. See how the market never breaks up? It just continues to make lower lows and lower highs all the way down. Dunk, 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 like a stair step, like you could take a stair step down there. If the market breaks above and closes above the previous high, that will give me a potential buying opportunity. Then I would look for, of course, a retest of the last structure level for a buying opportunity. Basically looking for a double bottom type situation. That's a little confusing for people who are new, and that's not really but I've got enough people now who've been doing this. Some of you have been with me for years, and you kind of know this stuff. So I'm throwing in a little bit of extra stuff for you guys just to get the wheels turning in your brain housing group. But that's going to do it basically for this week. I won't hit you guys with anything else. So a couple of trades. We had the Aussie trade that's potentially setting up here. Just back there for a quick review. You've got a 26.18 on pound yen that's setting up, and you also have euro pound that is currently, basically just about break even, up about 10, 15 pips or so. The market now rallying right out of that completion. So I'm going to be around this week. We've got private client group, some syndicate stuff I'm going to update you with. I'm working on the next radio show. The radio show went really well, and I got very good responses from that. And so I decided, well, that one was really like off the cuff. I just got out there and started talking for an hour, and I thought, well, if it's bad, then people will tell me it's bad, and I won't have wasted a lot of time. But the feedback I got was really good. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting together something that's just a little bit cooler and a little bit more structured. And I'm going to be talking about why money moves in my next radio broadcast. And we're going to be talking about why wealth transfers from one place to another, why it seems that small business and the private sector is able to succeed while the public sector continues to fail again and again and again at a lot of its core missions and mandates. And a lot of it has to do with a huge misunderstanding on the principle of why money moves. And I'm going to teach you how to do that and teach you how you can start using that principle to make better trading and investing decisions. So it's very much a study of economics, study of human behavior, and it's something that I think you're really going to be interested in seeing. So I will be doing that. I'll be letting you know. It's going to be in about a week. I'll be letting you know when it is so that you guys can go and listen to the radio broadcast. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please email me at support@triplethreattrading.com. And until next time, guys, good luck and good trading. I'll talk to you soon.